We're going to show you how to reprogram your CLS Series 2A radios. Hey, I'm Dustin McKinney, Marketing and Training Manager here at Wireless Solutions. Today I'm going to walk you through how to reprogram your CLS Series 2A radios. This will apply to the CLS1110 or the CLS1410. Before we get started, let's tell you a little bit about the CLS Series 2A radios. These are the #1 selling radio for retail and restaurants. Reason being, they're very small, very lightweight, easy to use. We got two options: the CLS1110, this is a 1-channel model, and then the CLS1410 is a 4-channel model. We can utilize this if we have different work groups, different talk groups that we need to have individual conversations where one person speaks and not everyone listens. Very popular radios, super easy to use. They both include a 2-year full replacement warranty, and they're both reprogrammable from the radio itself, which is what I'm going to show you today. Alright, before we get started, let's identify the buttons on our CLS Series 2A radios. The buttons are the same on both the CLS1110 and the 1410. I'm going to show you the 1410 today because when we're going through our programming settings, we can change our channel number before we change the settings. But the layout on both radios, first of all, you have your power and volume knob up top, twist to turn on, and the higher you twist it, the higher your volume goes. Push to talk button, front and center. Our monitor button. The menu button, we're going to use this to navigate through our settings. Plus and minus, we're going to use that to change our settings up or down appropriately. And over on the left side, we also have a call tone button. Now, to program your CLS series radios, first of all, you need to enter programming mode. To do this, on either model, we're going to press and hold two buttons while turning the radio on. We're going to press and hold our push to talk button and our monitor button. Press and hold both of these. We're going to turn our volume knob on. To turn it on, we're going to keep these buttons held down until we hear a chirping pattern. It'll sound like this. We hear that chirping pattern, and if you look on the display on the bottom left, you'll see PROG. That tells us we're in programming mode. Then we move on to our first programming step. Alright, now the first setting we're going to select is going to be our channel selection. This is available on the CLS1410. On the CLS1110, you won't be able to choose your channel because it's only a single channel radio. So if I am going to switch, right now it's on channel 1, if I wanted to program channel 2, for example, that large flashing 1, when I press the plus button, that'll change to a 2. Then we move on to our first and or second setting, depending on what model you have, which is our frequency setting. If we press the menu button, we're going to see a flashing frequency number. To change that setting appropriately, to go up or down, we press the plus or minus button. Pretty straightforward. Once we get our frequency number set, we're going to change to our code. Tap the menu button again. We'll get a code setting. We're going to change that up or down to the appropriate number based on what we need to match. Then we're going to go on to our next setting. And next setting is active channels. This is another setting that's only applicable on the 1410. Again, the 1110 is a single channel model, so we won't see that setting on the 1110. But if I press the menu button, we'll see that we have 4 active channels. If I want to change that up or down to limit our number of channels, I would do so by pressing the plus or minus button. Then we go on to our next setting. Next setting is our call tone. So if I press the menu button, we'll see the call as 0. That means disabled. We can activate different call tones using the plus or minus button. That's where that call tone button on the left side of the radio is going to come in handy. So I'll let you hear one of these tones, for example. So if I have that as my setting, when I press that call tone button on my radio, that tone is going to alert on all other radios. That's a way to get people's attention before we send out a transmission. I'm going to disable that real quick on this unit by pressing minus to go down to 0. You'll hear that bonk. That just means no value. And then we're going to go on to our next setting. Okay, our next setting will be microphone gain. So if we press the menu button, microphone gain is preset to 2. We can go up to make the microphone more sensitive. That would be for people who, don't talk very loud. Or we can go down to make the mic less sensitive for people who, only have one volume and yell every time they speak. So we would use the plus or minus to go up again. Up again is more sensitive, down is less sensitive appropriately, and then we're going to go on to our next setting. And finally, our last setting is the scan list function. If I press the menu button, it'll tell me that channel 2 is a Y for yes or an N for no if that channel is a part of my scan list. This is another feature that's only available on the CLS1110. The 1110, where it's a single channel radio, there's no other channel to scan as a function. So by default, channel 2 is a yes. If I want to change that value to a no, I would press the monitor button here, not the plus or the minus. It'll toggle to an N or a Y. And then we want to save our settings for channel 2 here as an example. I'm going to tap the push to talk button. You'll hear a single beep. We're back to our flashing channel number, and then I would go up or down if I want to change the settings on any other channel. And then lastly, we want to save those settings. If we don't save the settings before turning the radio off, it will not save any of this, and we'll have to go back in and redo it all. To save the settings, we're going to press and hold our push to talk button. You'll hear a beep, and then the PROG will disappear off your display. It'll look and sound like this. Now the radio's in standby mode and you're ready to use it. If you have any questions for us, feel free to put them in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for future content, and thank you for watching.